Well, anyway, I think, information is very, very key here when we have issues like this. One wonders what we can actually get from maybe even your office. Perhaps you should just tell us, even though we know investigations are still on. Did this particular ill-fated aircraft try to come back, make a return to the airport?
Well, the report available is that it crashed barely 2 minutes to take off. It was actually in the process of taking off. And if you see where it landed, it's just outside the fence of the Murtala Mohammed airport. And you could also see the efforts probably made by the crew on board to avoid the tank farm, which was just like 20 meters away from the crash site. So these probably are things. But when it comes to investigation, we try not to hazard a guess so that we do not compromise.
All right.
The investigation. And also, the Honorable Minister, Princess Stella, yesterday conveyed our condolences to the families. And we want to also reiterate the fact that our airspaces are very, very safe and secure. Accidents happen, and these are challenges that we will overcome as a country.
Do we have any ground casualty?
No, the plane actually landed on the fence of the JUA premises, not far away from the location. The JUA is the Joint User Hydrant Installation Tank Farm located, so you could clearly, it is believed that the pilot was trying to avoid landing on the tank farm, so he ended up landing on the fence, which is covered with a lot of shrubs, so gratefully there are no casualties on the ground.
Well, perhaps you tell us the response time to this particular incident. How fast was it?
Yes, it was within 2 minutes because immediately it happened. Control tower activated the crash alarm, and immediately the relevant agencies and structures like the FAAN fire service, the ambulances, and other relevant organizations immediately moved to site and put out the fire within 2 minutes, and immediately rescue operation started, and that is what accounted for the rescue of this high number. And it was subsequently that the news went around that the search, the crowd searched it, and it became a challenge at this point. But we want to also commend our men for rising to the occasion and operating within a record time.
Okay, because I was wondering, because we have heard people say that they didn't even know that Associated Airlines was still in operation, and suggesting perhaps that those aircrafts perhaps shouldn't even be flying. Have you heard that?
Well, that is why I eventually, and I would love to also give you an update. We had to run, the NCA ran an update on the aircraft, and the aircraft has a current certificate of airworthiness till October 22nd, 2013. Our records also show that the airline has an insurance policy valid until June 14, 2014. The aircraft has a 30 passenger capacity and was manufactured by Embraer SA Brazil and registered in Nigeria on the 22nd of May 27. And before the ill-fated flight, the airline last operated this particular aircraft on a charter flight on the 22nd of August 2013. The aircraft was also certified fit for flight by one of the airline's aircraft maintenance engineer prior to departure. The engineer was also on board the ill-fated flight.
Well, so you can confirm to us that indeed the aircraft was 23 years old from what we hear?
Well, that is why I give you the statistics here. The aircraft, the statistics are quite explanatory. I think it's 23-year-old, but it has all the records from the records available from the regulatory agency. The airline, it is fully operated and registered.
You opened, an emergency center, response center was opened yesterday. Who's the people who were a little confused as to what purpose that was supposed to serve?
Well, Well, the purpose is an information center is a combination of all the agencies, which is also being driven by the Accident Investigation and Prevention Bureau. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is also here. The Federal Airports Authority is there, and all the other agencies. And it is supposed to provide information. The airlines are also there. It provides information and also provides support for the families or relatives that may need information. Instead of moving from maybe to get information from Associated Airlines to AIB to NCA, we now have a one-stop information and trauma center to manage the information, because one of the issues we have when things like this happen is that there are a lot of unconfirmed reports that fly around. So that's why we have all the agencies together in one spot.
Would you say that, response was also coordinated properly?
Yes, I mean, for us to have rescued such a large number after a crash, it clearly shows that our response mechanism responded promptly, and also the facilities in terms of emergency and rescue, which has been put in place, it has yielded a lot of response. A lot of investment has gone into issues of rescue and response. And just earlier this year, the Minister of Aviation, Princess Stella, reviewed the responsibility of the Accident Investigation Bureau to also encompass prevention, not just investigation, but also prevention. And that is why we are seeing such a great, can I say, response and benefit, so to speak.
What about families of those who are involved in this crash? Any communication established with any of them? Do you know?
Yes, the airline and the emergency response, the contact team have been able to contact most of the families. But because of the pressure yesterday, the airline also released the names of the people on the manifest, because there were all kinds of theories and stories running around. But the families, I think about 99%, have been contacted before we permitted the airline to release the manifest.
I know some may say it's early days yet, but do we take it for granted that issues of compensation will be adequately taken care of, since you talked about insurance and airworthiness of the aircraft?
Yes, but those are issues that we will love to allow the Accident Investigation Bureau to come out with without trying to preempt, because if there is an statutory organization that has such responsibilities, ours is to plead with members of the public to be patient to await such reports.
All right, Mr. Tati, we'll get back to you in the course of this programming, but in the meantime, we thank you for speaking with us this morning on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.